Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. I have a card reading for you today, and it's again, we still are on that topic on the blow up your mind. And again, it is very easy to understand once you see the picture. It is what is happening in the world in the moment is really in any way, literally blowing up our mind. And what is happening in the moment is really to help that ascension process because we can only go into a higher realm in a higher dimension if we really move beyond the current beliefs, if we let go of those, what I say that honey traps, which actually comes here in that card here in the dangerous pussy, the past, and this is about the honey traps. And you know, I think and I see it in my own life how difficult it is to let go. I mean, you can say let go, and everybody said it's easy. Just let it go. Just like have something in your hand, drop it. Okay, but it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. It is really you can compare it much better to a computer program. You cannot just delete one thing because it might affect 100 other things too, and it does. If we delete kind of one program, one thing that it affects a lot of other things too. Now, let's use the very easy thing again with food. So if you say from today on, I don't want to eat anything anymore that has MSG inside because I know that this is not good for my body. But now look at it. You have to start to read labels and you have to start to look at products in a completely different way. And you might have to let go of many products or food that you ate before that you maybe even like. And most people do because this is again about habit. And this is especially the younger generations. For them, it's more difficult because our older generation, we have still grown up with a lot of natural products. We didn't have the conveniences of go to the shop, buy something, throw it in the microwave and eat it. And I was in what was 1977 or so, 78, something like this. I was working for AEG in Switzerland and for the main importer of AEG, like washing machines, kitchen baking ovens, and all that kind of stuff. And I was actually the one in the groups that we have that also had to go out to introduce microwave. And I was given a microwave oven at that time. Of course, we had to test out all the things we had, and I was actually an instructor for also housewives. There was a certain what do you call that, house master. I don't know really how to explain that in English. Like in Switzerland, it was usual that young girls go a year in a household to learn all about household. And those women who had those girls had to go through an education as a kind of a household master to be able to teach those girls. And we were part of the instructors that we taught people, these women, they came for workshops to learn. And of course, we promoted our products to sell. So what happened there? I was testing these microwaves, and in the first moment, I mean, I look at it and I had no idea. I mean, imagine that was many, many years ago. I had no idea about all what I know today. I just can say like that. And I was fascinated, but then I started to feel bad. I started to feel like in my heart and stomach areas, I felt when I put stuff inside that it's like a going on in my body. I couldn't figure it out for a long time, but it was about a few years later when I started to consciously go into a spiritual path that I also discovered what it is. But anyway, I that was the time when I got married and I could keep all those consignment things we had to work with, but I gave back the microwave because intuitively I knew that this was bad news. And that was in the 70s. So you can imagine now people who have grown up, and here when you go into a shopping mall or whatever, there are whole rows of microwaves, and then there is one little row that sells the little ovens that you conventionally heat up things. And most people, even health food restaurant, whatever, they have a microwave in the kitchen. And this is so bad now. Just look at the consequences. I just want to show you the consequences that are connected to this. That is to blow up your mind. You say, I don't eat any more microwave food. I don't eat any more MSG. And the younger generation, they have that in their life all the time. They don't even know anymore how to cook in a different way, how to prepare food, how to make it fresh from the beginning. And this is one of the most and the biggest problem for the younger people in the moment. They are lost at the situation. And I had situation, what the hell should I eat? And this is actually what's going on. This is that blow up the mind to bring all these old habits to an end, to let go of all that what we did believe before. And especially, no, not especially, we have been brainwashed too, but not in that amount like the people today. Like when I think about school, when I look at it, what it is today and what it was when I was young, we still had being encouraged to be creative. Today, people are not anymore. They just have to, do what's normal, not natural, normal. Okay, so how can we do that? And this is again, we had this card several times already, and the heart drop is also that you drop your consciousness, you're not from the mind, you drop it down into the heart. And I can just imagine that that could help you if you start to ask when in situation, what would love do now? What would I do when my heart would rule my life? And if you start to do things like that and you start to ask like this, things will change in your life because, oh, okay, for example, somebody's doing something bad to you. And when you drop into the heart, maybe the question come up, oh, maybe this person just has a really bad day and I just happen to be there. And in fact, that somebody else is doing or saying something bad, it's always their problem and not yours. It is your problem is, do you accept it as yours or not? So if somebody's doing something, you can refuse it. It's like if the wind blows in the sail, the boat moves. If there is no wind, it doesn't move. So do I want to blow in that sail and go into this argument, this discussion, this fight, or whatever it is? So drop into your heart, drop down from your mind into your heart, and don't fall for the honey traps of the old paradigms anymore. Don't fall for rewards that are not really reward. It can give you a moment of satisfaction if you bring somebody in his or her knees. I won the bottle. Ooh, wow. Well, what is in fact, what did you really win? You didn't win anything. So think about that, all those sweet promises, and we can go even much, much further. We could go into politics and honey traps, and I think you know what I'm talking about. And this is the worst. And when somebody, for example, you're a smoker and you decide to stop smoking, or you drink alcohol and you decide to stop, then the crew, the gang you were with, they always want to tear you back down into, come on, just a sip and just blah, 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 just one cigarette, just one glass of wine, whatever it is. And then you're hooked again. And that's exactly what they want. They want to tear you down. And this is what all these honey traps, and I promise you that, oh, we're going to have fun and we're going to have this and that and whatever. But look at the bigger picture. What kind of fun do we really have? When you look back into these old times that we move through in this old paradigm, in this old control paradigm, fun was very artificial. It was not really much fun from the heart. What did really give you satisfaction and happiness? For me, it was always the awe when I was, for example, I remember that picture come up now in November when I still was in Switzerland. I went to walk with my German Shepherd, and it was so beautiful. It was mystic. There was fog, and you saw these beautiful spider webs with little pearls of diamonds from the water drops. And I was in awe about the beauty and the good air there and the silence. Or walking in the snow at night, or swimming in my big pond that I have, a natural pond that was a rice field once. And then I can just lay on the water and feel and feel. And then it's not my head involved. So find something that you can do to give you real pleasure, real satisfaction. For some people, it's a meditation. For some people, it's music or creativity, whatever it is. Do that as much as you can. And then you will reach that island of jewels. And you see that island of jewels, you have a very similar picture like the ripples of the sand here, the ripples of the clouds. So this will bring you beyond the clouds, and the clouds always, the air element and the clouds always represent the clouded mind. So we move beyond and find the real jewels in life, the real rubies and sapphires and diamonds, whatever it is, the real truth, and not just that artificial kind of way of life. And I don't want to say that you have to let go of things like technology or like computers or whatever. I'm absolutely not against that, because we are here, in fact, because we have computers. We are here in the moment. All what we have, the personal computers, for example, they were actually invented to control us only. But what they did not realize is that we are intelligent and creative enough to use it for our own purpose. And that is the same also with AI. AI is something that is coming up, and we can use it positive or negative. And the more people put in positive energy, the better it comes out and the easier our life will be in the future. So please consider this and be willing to let go of old paradigms, beliefs, habits. That's the only way out. So many people say, oh, I'm in fifth dimension already and I have this and that, I'm happy, blah, blah, blah. But if you want to move with Mother Gaia or with the earth into that higher dimension, you also transform this physical body, not just the consciousness. And that is the biggest challenge. And this is why so many changes need to happen. And this is why, especially, I always also mention food and stress, that sometimes you have to be careful what you eat, what you put inside of that body. That it makes it more easy in that transition. And symptoms that are coming up, and I'm not talking about theory, I have my own, that are always telling you something and helping you to move forward. Now, don't fight them. Do everything to heal them, to make yourself whole again. And you can also be very sure that the medical lobby does not know about that. Whatever kind of artificial medicine or, the chemical compounds mixed together that make something that our body cannot really digest, in fact. because it's not a natural thing that our body can understand. I actually wrote that in my group this morning. For example, like margarine. Margarine is something that our body cannot really digest, and many other of those products, because our body does not recognize it. The program of our body is more focused on what is natural. So even sometimes when we have very exotic food that is from faraway countries or whatever, our body has a hard time to digest it because it cannot recognize it. And this is why you have, mostly when you are in a difficult situation, you have that craving for the food that you had when you were a child. This is the comfort food. And this is what helps you to move beyond that barrier and expand your whole consciousness and help you to be you much more. Not the sweets, not all that kind of stuff. This is not what your body makes happy. Try that once. Maybe try to go and get something what you were eating when you were a child and feel into it, what it does for you. Anyway, so what we're gonna go to reach at the end, the island of Jewel again, and go beyond this clouded consciousness into a higher consciousness that help us to move into the higher dimension. Do not miss that train that goes to the highest timeline right now in the moment. And I know that's why you're here and listen to my readings. I wish you a beautiful day and all my best for your personal transition. Bye-bye for now.